talk. Okay, so this is being recorded. Welcome to the Hormone-Smart Fat Loss little masterclass that I decided to do. I am going to start sharing my screen so that you guys can see if I remember how to do that. Share. Here's my email. Okay, here we go. Takes me back to my school days. Okay, so Hormone-Smart Fat Loss, helping women over 30, they can lose fat and boost energy. So you guys both know me, but I'm Kelly. I'm the owner and operator of Simply Well Nutrition and Fitness Coaching. Before I did this, I had 8 years experience as a first grade teacher. I left in 2022 and I got my NASM certification for a personal trainer and nutrition coach, and I have been doing that ever since. And I love it. I love this new career path that I have gone down. And then I also, when I was teaching, I was doing a little bit of Beachbody coaching as well. So I have over 5 years of experience in this industry. I'm married, I have 2 kids. And so if you are that woman who is like struggling and can't seem to like get off of this like hamster wheel of like losing weight and gaining it back and losing weight and gaining it back and losing weight and gaining it back, I have been there and I know exactly how that feels. I know what it feels like to look in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I got to do something about this. So if that resonates with you, you're in the right place. Also, nothing is wrong with you. Okay. Fat loss feels harder after 30 because it is. Okay. Our bodies are not the same. I don't know about you guys, but I used to be able to like eat McDonald's once a day and go to the gym for an hour and I would lose 5 pounds. That's not going to happen anymore. So your body is different now. There's hormonal shifts happening. We unfortunately lose muscle at a more rapid rate as we age. We have higher stress because we're busy raising kids and managing families, and we have our careers, and all of these play into the fact that like our hormones can get out of whack sometimes, and not to mention less sleep. And we're going to talk about how important that really is. So I want you to forget everything that used to work because like we're going to empty out that brain and we're going to start from scratch. Okay. There's no more eating less. There's no more cardio. There's no more skipping meals and there's no more constant dieting. So we're going to play a game, and you guys don't need to turn your cameras on if it doesn't make you feel comfortable. If you want to, you can, but we're just going to play like put a finger down game. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing this with me. So I'm not just doing this by myself, but I want you to put up 5 fingers. And then you're going to put a finger down if my fitness pal ever told you that you needed to eat 1,200 calories in a day to lose weight. You're going to put a finger down if you ever heard and tried of the military diet where you ate like, I don't know, I think it was like 2 boiled eggs for dinner or for breakfast and 5 crackers for lunch. And I forget what dinner was, cottage cheese, maybe. It was such little food. It was absolutely ridiculous. Military diet. Put a finger down if you've ever Googled how to lose weight. Put a finger down if you've ever walked into a gym and had absolutely no idea what to do, so you just got on the treadmill or the elliptical machine. And put a finger down if you ever thought that you needed to earn your calories, so you worked out ahead of time. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any fingers left. Hopefully you do. But in my experience, I, myself included, I've worked with so many women who I hear those same stories again and again and again. And when they started happening to me and the old things weren't working anymore, I was like, I've got to figure this out. Not only for myself, but for other women that I want to help too. So that's what started all of this and my like deep dive into hormones. So the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this is you're stressed. Like we all have stressors in everyday life, right? Like I was going to ask you guys, like if something stressed you out today, put it in the chat. Like whatever it might be, put it in the chat, no matter how big or how small. I'm going to share with you that my pipe, my kitchen drain is frozen. So we have no kitchen sink. We have to, like, my husband and I keep trying to pour like boiling water down the drain to get it to thaw. But right now I'm currently doing my dishes in the bathroom sink or in the bathroom tub. So there's that. The snow, teaching on Zoom, right? All of these things stress us out. Okay. Oops. I want to go back. So when we're stressed, that puts our body into survival mode. So think back to like the cave people times, right? Stress looked a lot different then. We weren't teaching on Zoom and we weren't worried about frozen drain pipes, but we were worried about like where our next meal was going to come from, if we were going to survive the next day, if we were going to be warm enough in like a frozen tundra situation. So what our bodies do when we're in survival mode is it holds on to everything that we give it because it thinks, oh my God, I need to store this energy for when I'm really going to need it, right? I need to store this fat so I can stay warm. I got to hold on to it. You will not lose weight if you're in a constant state of stress. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You will not lose weight if you are in a constant state of stress. If you are in survival mode, you will not have fat loss. So instead of fighting that, we have to like learn how to overcome that. We need support, not punishment. I want you to let go of that. Well, I just need to try harder and I need to do more. And no, we need to do less and we need support while doing it. Okay. So now it's the bulk of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. There are four hormones that I really want to talk about tonight: estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and insulin. You've probably heard of all these before, but I want to talk to you about like how they kind of like interact in our body and how that kind of either helps hinder or support weight loss. Okay. So estrogen helps regulate where your body stores fat. This is why you see women, and we tend to kind of carry weight all over, where men who are overweight just kind of tend to carry it in their midsection. Okay. So when estrogen is out of balance, which is really common with stress, perimenopause, which if you're my age, you might be getting into that era of life. Stress, poor sleep, under eating, your body is more likely to have an imbalance in your estrogen levels. So it's more likely to hold onto that fat and struggle with energy and muscle recovery as well. Okay, so that's the first one. Progesterone, this like totally like progesterone is actually responsible for a lot. Okay. Like you might have heard this if you're a mom, you might have heard it when you were pregnant for the first time, but progesterone is also like your calming anti-stress hormone. So your anti-stress, like you're in a state of like rest and digest, right? So it supports your sleep, your mood, your stable blood sugar. But if it's too low, it's not going to balance out what we need it to balance out. It's too low. So you're going to feel anxious. You're going to crave sugar. You're going to sleep poorly and you're going to retain water, all of which can make the scale go up, maybe increase your fat like content, let alone try and lose the fat that your body is holding on to. So raise your hand if you've ever felt anxious and it's made you crave sugar. Yeah, like every month, right? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so number three, cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It's not a bad thing necessarily, okay? Like, no, we don't want stress, but a small amount of stress is actually really good for your body. So think like workouts, think getting outside your comfort zone, think a social gathering that maybe has you a little bit of anxious and nervous, right? So some stress, some cortisol is good. It's healthy, right? It helps you. But when cortisol stays too high, whether that's from life, daily stress, overtraining, under eating, and we're always starving, or poor sleep, your body is going to shift into that survival mode that I was talking about earlier, and it's going to hold on to all of that fat. If you have been a nutrition coach of mine or a nutrition client of mine, you have heard me say this again and again and again. We cannot be in survival mode. It's just going to hold on to things. That includes under eating. So if you go back to like the MyFitnessPal days when you're only eating 1,200 calories, that's not enough. That is not enough for a full-grown woman. You need to eat more food. Don't be afraid to eat, okay? In order to lose weight, you have to eat enough. Okay. Also, cortisol can even break down muscle, which is super important. I don't know about you. Yes, I want to not have a lot of fat on my body, but I also want to be really strong and capable and mobile and have like a long quality of life, not just live forever and not be able to get myself off of the toilet. Okay. I always tell my clients, like, I want to be 90 and still be able to wipe my own ass. Okay. Like, that's really what it boils down to. I don't want my kids to have to do that. I want to be able to take care of myself when I'm old. I'm going to check the chat really quick. That's a great goal. Yes, yes, yes. Here for that. Okay. And then the last one, this one is the one that I really didn't know a lot about. And then once I started like diving into nutrition and I started coaching, I learned so much about insulin and what it really does in our body. So insulin, if you think about like it's a little piggyback ride, okay, onto sugar. Okay, so it helps move sugar from your blood into the cells so that it can be used for energy. Without insulin, the sugar is just going to stay there and it's going to get stored. So we need the insulin to help the sugar figure out where it needs to go so that we can actually use it. Okay. When it's working well, our body can then use those sugar as carbs, right? It falls in the carb category. We can use carbs for fuel, and then we can go into fat burning mode in between when we eat our carbs, that's what we want, right? We want these like peaks and valleys. That's kind of drastic. We actually want like a smaller little roller coaster of being able to switch between using the carbs and stored fat for fuel. So when our insulin is good, it's doing its job and it has those like tiny little dips. Okay. When someone is insulin resistant, like they're stressed, they're going through perimenopause, their stress is high, insulin stays elevated. And when the insulin is too high, it's basically being told to store the fat instead of burn it. So it's kind of like flip-flopped, right? Like instead of using the carbs and then using the fat and using the carbs and using the fat all for energy, it's going to store the carbs and store the fat and store the carbs and store the fat and store the carbs and store the fat. So that's not obviously what we want. Okay. So all four of these play into what is our body telling it to do with the fuel that we give it. Okay. So here's what actually works. This is what actually is going to balance your hormones. Eating enough. Okay. You have to eat enough calories. You have to have a balanced amount of your macronutrients, which is protein, carbs, and fat. And you have to eat enough protein to try and save as much muscle as you can. Fat and carbs is going to be what our body uses for energy. Protein gets used and stored differently. So we want to make sure that we're definitely eating enough protein. Number 2, you want to lift weights. You have to lift weights. If you are over 30, you have to be lifting weights. You have to be strength training if you want to keep as much muscle on your body as you can, if you want to be a strong woman into your 40s, 50s, and beyond. Okay. Not only do we want to be strong and capable human beings, but the more muscle we have on our body, the more energy we burn just doing our daily life. Okay. That's why men with all of their testosterone and all their easy muscle building capabilities, like my husband needs like 3,000 calories a day just to like maintain his weight. Let alone he wants to gain weight. He needs like 4,000 calories a day. It's insane. Okay. Because he has a lot of muscle. The muscle burns more just doing nothing, like just living. Okay. So the more muscle we have, the more we burn, the more we get to eat. It's great. It's a great news. Okay. And you don't have to have a fancy gym membership. You don't have to have fancy gym equipment, right? Seriously, get like 3 sets of dumbbells if you're just starting out and build off from there. Okay. That's what I did. I started with, I think I had a set of 3 pounds. No, I had a set of 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds. I can remember when I got my 8 pounds finally. And then as you get stronger, you can just build up from there. So I have somebody else in the waiting room. I think I let her in. Okay. So number 3, we're going to build habits that support those healthy lifestyles. I have seen memes on like Instagram and stuff where it's like a mom who's like totally burnt out. She's drinking her water and she's on the walking pad and she's cooking dinner and she's helping a kid with her homework and she's got her like face mask on, right? To do all the things we feel like I can't even stop moving, let alone like answer texts and phone calls from friends and look hot for my husband and like there's too much to do. No, you need habits that actually support the lifestyle that you want to live. So you have to have a plan, not just motivation. Motivation will die. You have to have a plan. Family friendly meals help a ton. That way you don't have to overthink what am I eating and then what is the rest of my family eating. And you want consistency over perfection. So maybe you don't eat, I don't know, like maybe you only eat like 20 grams of protein in a day. Oh well, start again tomorrow. Like it's not the end of the world. Don't give up. Just be as consistent as you can. Don't strive for perfection. And number four, we're going to support those hormones that we talked about. We're going to increase our energy and we're going to decrease hunger and cravings by doing all of these other things. Okay. So food as fuel is the solution. When you eat enough protein, it's going to help curb your appetite and keep your muscle on your body. When you eat carbs, we need all three of them, okay? When you eat carbs, it's going to give you energy and also help with like recovery from your workouts. And then when we eat fats, that's really good for our brain and our hormone health. Our hormones and our brain are not going to perform optimally if we don't give them healthy fats to do their jobs. So that's a lot of information, right? I know I just threw a lot at you in, I don't know, what's it been? What's my time here? 22 minutes, not even. The internet also has a lot of information out there. I see so many reels and so much information that is not even true, you guys. And they have like a million likes on the post. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. But I'm not confrontational, so I'm like not gonna like call them out on it. But I know that the internet has a lot of information and it's hard to weed out what's true and helpful versus like all of the BS, right? If somebody promises you a quick fix, it's just that. It's going to be a quick fix, but then you're going to go right back and you're going to have to do it again and again and again. Um, you might also feel stuck because you have no accountability. It's so easy to be like, okay, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to start eating and I'm going to start exercising and it's going to be great. And then when your alarm goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning and you're tired and you're nice and warm in your cozy bed, you think, I'll just start tomorrow. Nobody's going to know. Now, you need accountability. So you need a friend, you need a sibling, you need a spouse, you need somebody who is either going to do it with you or who's going to say, like, hey, you said you were going to do these things. It's time to do them. Okay. So you just need a real plan and you need support. And that's kind of where I come in. So for the first time ever, I am going to do group coaching. I am calling it the Balanced Body Blueprint. And I am going to dive into all of these things in way more depth. Maybe you heard all of what I was saying tonight and you can take that information and you can run with it. But maybe you're like, you know what, Kelly, you're right. I might need like more help than that. So I'm going to teach you all about nutrition and what exactly macronutrients are and how much exactly of them you need in your daily goals. I'm going to write you a strength training plan to walk you through exactly what you should be doing when you're lifting weights. We're going to talk more about hormone health and how to support all of those hormones so that they can actually do the job that they were intended to do and do it well. And we're going to make habits that actually support all of those things right here. Okay. And the best part is you get to have some wine while you're doing it. If you've worked with me before, you know that I am not about deprivation. Like if a glass of wine is your thing at night, we're going to factor that in. If I don't know if she's here, but I know she signed up for this thing. And I don't want to call her out, but if chocolate milk is your nightly snack, we're going to factor that in. If you like to have sweet treats like Reese's peanut butter cups a night, we're going to factor that in too. Like whatever it is, weekly date nights with the hubs, yes, that can happen. Pizza Fridays, yes, absolutely. And I teach you how that can really fit into your plan so that you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm on a diet and I can't have that. No, there's no more of that. We're going to make this work for you. So here are some of my happy clients. I do nutrition coaching, I do personal training, and I do a combination of both with some people. Kind of get to pick and choose, but the Balanced Body Blueprint is a combination. So you guys will definitely have the nutrition piece and the personal training piece if you choose to continue with the Balanced Body Blueprint. So how does it work? There are weekly modules. Everything is taking place on Facebook. So Facebook is free for everybody. So I figured why not just do it that way? So there's weekly modules. There's going to be live Q&A calls once every 2 weeks. So you can come, bring me your questions. I will be happy to answer them, whatever you're kind of, thinking about or tweaking in your plan or, whatever comes up. We're going to have bi-weekly Q&A calls. We're going to have meal planning sessions. I'm so excited about these. So we're alternating, like 1 week will be a Q&A call, 1 week will be a meal planning session. Q&A, meal planning session. So weekly calls, twice a month Q&A, twice a month meal planning sessions where we just get together and we meal plan together. Heads down, done in an hour. We have our meal plan for the next 2 weeks is my goal. So I think that would be really fun to do together as a group. And then there's that private Facebook community where we can post, we can encourage each other. We can be like, hey, look what I had for dinner. Or does anybody have a quick dinner idea? I didn't go to the store. Like we're all going to be there to support each other. Obviously, I'm going to be in there too to help. Who's it for? Women over 30 who want fat loss, more energy, and sustainable habits. You guys, I want this to be the last thing that you ever have to do because you have these sustainable habits that you can just repeat over and over and over again. Okay, you're never going to have to worry about this anymore. So next steps, enrollment is officially open for the Balanced Body Blueprint for the next week. I am limiting these spots and I have made it as cheap as I possibly can because one, I still want to, provide some quality for you. But I also want to just work really closely with this select group of people because I want you guys to tell me, like, what does this program need more of? What does it need less of? What should I change? What should I, and I really want to work closely with you guys so that you can help me just make it really, really good. So I am going to post the link in the chat, and you're also going to get it in an email after this call is over. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. And while I get that link, I'm going to let you guys think, do you have any questions about anything that I said tonight? Anything about hormones, anything about nutrition, macros, strength training, exercise? Go ahead and put it in the chat and I will answer them. And my goal was a 30-minute quick masterclass, and I did it. It's 6:29. So I did not want to take up a lot of your time. All right, officially. There is the link to the Balanced Body Blueprint if you just want more information or see what the investment is. It's right there. For the strength training, do you give a plan or do you do online videos calls too? So for the strength training, I give a plan. There's like 2 different tiers you're going to see on there. The base plan is you're going to get a PDF and it's going to like list out what workouts I want you to do each day. The VIP upgrade is it's not like a live call like this, but it's more in depth of like, here's the plan and here's a demo video, and it's more tailored to you instead of like a more of a generic plan for the group, if that makes sense. Do we need to get blood work done to know where our hormones are at? No, you don't. This is like technically because I'm not a physician, I'm not going to go back to school and become a doctor. I can't like tell you to go do that. I can't prescribe anything for you. So these are just general habits and good routines that are going to support them no matter what. Okay. So it's going to help even out all of those levels of where we want them to be. If you wanted to take it a step further and you want to go get your levels tested just to see where you're at, by all means do that. I think if you're local to here, the health department used to do it for like $40, $30, somewhere in there. Um, and you could see, but these habits are going to support it no matter what. Stress up is not happening for me. Stress eat. Yeah. Keep strength training and some more focus on mindfulness. I'm also curious about the hormone lab values. I see these at home kits necessary. Here's my like honest opinion on those. I think that there is about a bajillion ways that they could be messed up. So I I've even done those like food sensitivity tests, and it came back with that I was allergic to eggs. I eat eggs all the time. I never have any like digestive issues from them. And so, of course, after I spent the money and did the test, then I looked into like the validity of them, and they're so easy to mess up. So I imagine that the hormone test would be the same way. Um, if you really wanted to test the hormones, I would definitely go to like the health department, or even like a functional medicine doctor and get them done, as opposed to like kind of wasting your money on the at-home kits. But again, neither is necessary for this challenge. Like these habits are just going to be good all the way around. Any other questions I can answer for you guys? I do have payment plans. So, oh, I forgot the sticky note upstairs. So I know that for the base level, it's $100 a month. And then, oh, okay. Let me see if I can. I want to say the payment plan for the VIP upgrade is 150 a month. So 100 and 150 a month for 3 months, which is a really good deal, you guys. Like my private nutrition coaching, like just nutrition coaching is going up to 250 a month in February. My private personal training is going up to, no, not going up, sorry. It's a consistent $200 a month. So for private things, what's that? 450 a month, and you guys would get the group version for 100 or 150. Like that's insane. I did it as low as I could. Anything else? I'm glad you guys asked that payment plans because I meant to say that. I'm going to stop recording.